The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB TV.
Y'all ready for this?
Booyah! We are back. It is Wednesday. It is also May 9th, 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. That means it's time for another installment of Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from WWDBTV.com. My name is Bill Miller, co-host along with
Jeff Belknap.
It is always our pleasure to welcome you back for another week of insightful sports commentary by the two of us. And as per the disclaimer, it is our opinion, and we're jolly well not changing it for anyone.
That's right.
That's right. As you can see, there is one more of us in the studio, and we are fortunate enough to have this young man to my right, and he's none other than Beau Taylor from Bishop Gorman High School here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And if you're a frequent flyer of the Southern Nevada Sports News Show, you know that we've had a number of players from Bishop Gorman on our show. But Beau is currently a junior, offensive lineman for the high-powered, high-octane Gael football program. Beau, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
All right, man. Appreciate you having you come in. And also like to thank his father, who is currently off camera and prefers it that way, for bringing his son in there. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, sir.
All right. So listen, man, we appreciate it. You're a junior coming off of another championship season for the Gaels program. And congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And, it's getting ready, for your senior year. Has it really kind of sunk in that you've got one more year left at Gorman?
It's definitely starting to. One thing that hit me the other day was we just finished up spring practice not too long ago, and I told some of my other seniors, I'm like, dang, this is our last spring practice together at Gorman. And so it's starting to sink in, getting to the point where we realize some of the stuff that we're doing now is the last time we'll do it in high school.
That's great.
Right.
Yeah.
Good level.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So being in spring practice, obviously you're kind of feeling out your team. I mean, can you give us some insight on how we're looking going into
this year? We'll be a younger team. I think we have less than 20 seniors, but we're going to be up there again hopefully this year. And I think the thing that'll be great for us is all of the guys we've played together since we were little kids. I know I've played with some of these guys since I was 7 years old. So one thing that'll be great for us this year is just the unity of the team and playing for the guy next to you instead of playing for yourself.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is. My goodness gracious. Both of us had a chance to look at some of your film.
I'm looking at it right now. I got it. Just rerunning it.
It is absolutely outstanding. How long have you been on the varsity team?
So I got pulled up my freshman year for playoffs. I didn't get a suit up, but I did get to go against some of the guys like Haskell Garrett and EA. Wow. Some of those good defensive guys. But so I've been on varsity. This will be my third year, since sophomore year. Yeah. Well,
congratulations. This is because this is not a team that's very easy to make the varsity squad. And going through the youth program, you kind of matriculated your way up.
Yes,
so you've had that kind of steady coaching, and it really prepares you for once you get up to the to the high school level.
Definitely, yeah.
Who's your current position coach over at Gorman?
Coach Lundberg. He's new this year. He comes from North Alabama, and he definitely knows what he's talking about. He's had the experience, and so I think it'll be a great year for the O-line, especially since we have pretty much 5 returners. Every guy on the line this year they've had experience either starting or working in with the ones group.
Oh, nice.
My goodness gracious.
Yes, sir.
Well, that doesn't bode well for
just when you think there's going to be a let-up, you got these guys that's stepping in.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
You're 6'5".
Yes, sir.
About 285.
Yes, sir.
81-inch wingspan.
Yeah.
Is that growing too?
Yeah. Nice thing is I'll still measure, and I'll put on every month or so, quarter, half inch, so still growing a little bit. And for the season, I'm trying to get up to 295, 300, that kind of range.
Yeah, start to kind of get in that.
Yeah, more the
Just
D1
before college.
way.
There you
exactly.
go.
Yeah,
There you
as
go.
soon as they see that 3 in front of it, but clearly your speed is pretty significant. I mean, I saw you pulling. And I know you guys have some, high octane quarterbacks and running backs, and it's almost self-preservation. You got to get out there.
That's right.
I'm sure the coach's philosophy is we'll find somebody who can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you're downfield.
Yes,
I mean, you're, good Lord.
Those are always fun too when you get the full head of steam on one of the smaller guys that's not quite the 300 pounds.
Yes, and that's got to be deer in the headlights at that point.
Yeah, those are fun to do.
Yeah. So you've been playing with you're a local kid. I mean, were you born?
Yes, sir. Yeah, born and raised. I've been playing football here forever. Like I said before, with the all the guys on varsity this year, we've all played football here for all the local youth teams.
Right. Okay.
So for the Gorman youth team, or for the most part, the Gators?
Actually, no. There are some guys from the Gators, but I played on a few different teams. But I have played with or against pretty much a majority of my team, which is really nice.
That's awesome.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it has. Right now I see that football is obviously one that you're seriously concentrating on. Do you play any other sports?
No, not at the moment. Freshman year, I was gonna do shot put and discus stuff, but I decided just to focus on football because that's what would take me to the next level, and just trying to get in the weight room, improve through that.
Yeah.
So speaking of the weight room, what do you bench, if you don't mind us asking?
The last one I did was, I think I hit 300, and then we max again. I think it's in 5 weeks, so I'm trying to hit at least 320, and then I squatted 430. My next goal is at least 450, 460, and then we actually go by shirts. So it's like individual lifts. So there's blue shirt, black shirt, and then Ironman. I'm at the black shirt right now, so I need, once I hit my 275 clean, then I'll be able to get the Ironman, which is the highest level.
Oh, nice. So it's obviously a goal.
Yeah, that's a big one. There's very few people at Gorman that have gotten to that level, and seeing guys like Jacob last year, and then Haskell the year before that, and a few other guys, it's definitely one of those goals that proves you the real deal at Gorman.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Goodness gracious.
Good stuff.
If you weren't playing football, what would you be doing?
That's a hard question. I used to play baseball, and I enjoyed that. I could pitch pretty well. My uncle, he was always a pitcher. He made it minor leagues, and then I actually tried out for, I think it was about a year. I did some MMA stuff, which I really enjoyed. That.
Did you really?
That's cool. Okay. that was a lot of fun. So
you have a future in pro wrestling? Is that what you're saying?
Not sure about that
after the NFL?
Not sure about that one.
Well, listen, if I had my choice, I would clearly go with football.
Oh yeah.
I just don't like getting hit in the head.
That's the one downside.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's something for sure. You were the first team All-State USA Today, All-State Nevada Preps.
Yes, sir.
And also the All-Southwest League. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, and again, as a junior, these accolades just keep coming.
That was a huge accomplishment. Some of the names on there that you'll see just from across the valley, all these guys going big-time college programs, it was definitely an honor to be included on that list, and especially at the junior in that year. Yeah. So it was definitely a huge honor to be included on that list.
Well, congratulations.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
And clearly it's a testimony to your work ethic.
Yes, sir.
Nothing's really handed to you.
No, definitely not.
Especially the program that you're involved in.
Yes, sir.
You gotta work hard. Yeah. Well done, young man.
Thank you very much.
I like the way the Sanchez brothers recruit from the city. They both kind of see the value of these guys. And any offers from UNLV at this point, or? Yeah,
that was actually my second offer, and so it was a funny story. So my very first offer was Boise State after our team camp there, and we got a few weeks off after that. So I tried to make a trip to the South, so I went to Vanderbilt.
Good.
And right before I did my Vanderbilt visit, I actually got on the phone with Coach Sanchez, and that's when I got my offer.
Oh, beautiful.
He's
like, no, don't
awesome.
Go.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so what did you think about Vanderbilt?
Oh, it was awesome. I loved Nashville. I love that town. I love the feel of it. They're obviously SEC, which is big time football.
Oh, yeah.
And then I love the academic side of their school too.
Yeah. Vanderbilt is very high profile with
sir.
regard to you got to have a serious SAT
Yeah.
and GPA to get in there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and a lot of the guys that go to Vanderbilt, if they may not be going to the NFL, but they'll usually end up representing NFL players as accountants, lawyers, doctors, dentists, etc. Yeah, bankers, etc. But I always heard it's a fabulous campus.
It is. It was beautiful.
So how long did you get a chance to spend in Nashville?
So I did the visit. I'm not sure which day it was, but I did the visit the day before, and then I did the camp the next day, and I was actually named. I was going into junior year, and I was named one of the top O-line performers there. Nice. And then the next few days after that, I went to Western Kentucky and Kentucky.
Okay. Wow.
So spent some time in that area. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, Nashville's I'd like to get there one day. It's a crazy town.
It's fun.
Did you get any hot chicken while you were there?
I went with the catfish.
Okay. Maybe a better move.
Gotta love the catfish.
Yeah. It seems like that hot chicken doesn't fool around. It's on my bucket list, folks. I'm sorry. I digress sometimes.
That's great.
So right now, you just got through spring practice. Do you have some downtime before you get to camp or?
We're in there every day lifting. We had a lift today. So we're in there doing all the weight room stuff, and then next week we start back up. We'll do some work on the field, get our inside run, some blitz pickup, that kind of stuff, make sure we're still on the plays, still on the schemes, all that, and then we really don't get a break until after our team camp in late June, and then we'll get I think it's about a 2-week break, and then it's in the season time for that. Yeah.
Put on the pads.
Yeah, I think it's real.
Definitely.
That's for sure. I noticed looking at your film, you definitely are fleet of foot. You're pretty damn quick.
Thank you.
What's your 40 at right now?
I'm not too sure. My 40's never been my strong side, but
it hasn't hurt you, obviously. So
I've done.
Is it something that you really? I mean, as far as linemen are concerned, I don't think that's really all that. I mean, it's an impressive stat to throw out there. If you have like an Uber 40 time, but otherwise, it's really essentially a 20. That you're looking at.
That's the most important part, and I think the pro agility is really, really good for the lineman. I think on that one, I did pretty good. I think around a 4.7 on that one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that is excellent.
I'm better at the change of movement, which is, I think the coaches look at that more for the O lineman instead of the 40, because I think they would rather have a guy be able to change direction 5 yard more like a pull than 40 yards on the field.
Yeah, it's not like you're coming up out of your step and sprinting past the defender. There's a lot more to it. It's based on your footwork and agility. Yeah. You say that your new position coach, I guess he's from North Alabama.
Yes, sir.
What high school did he coach at before he got to?
I think I'm honestly not too sure. I think he was a graduate assistant at North Alabama, because I know he played there for sure. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know that you guys, I believe, have played a couple of teams from Alabama in the past, and I was just wondering if maybe there was one of those teams.
I don't think. I think he
Get him on the radar.
came from being a GA at the school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well, they take football pretty seriously.
Definitely. And they produce the
rumor has
best
it.
linemen.
Yeah, yes, they do.
Yes, sir.
That's the word.
Definitely some big boys.
So do you pattern your game or market your game on a certain player? I mean, do you actually watch players in the NFL?
I do. There's not a certain player I'll watch. I just try to learn as much as possible from as many of the players as possible. But two of the guys that I love watching, especially because they came from Gorman, are Ronnie Stanley and Nick Gates.
Okay.
Funny story is I've actually been compared to Nick Gates, and he's one of my favorite players just because of how aggressive he is and his just technique and all that. So I do watch them, and then some of the Notre Dame guys that actually just got drafted, I'll I'll watch their film and just try to pick up little stuff from each player that I can watch.
So 2 Notre Dame players went in the first round.
Yeah.
It's linemen. That's rare
Yeah.
to see 2 guys on the same line. So when I'm watching a game, and man, I'll be transparent, because I come from football background, a lot of times I am watching the lineman.
That's
You
where
know,
the
I'm
action's
like,
at.
that guy missed a block. That's why that didn't happen. You know, this guy would have busted that run if that guy would have,
Yes,
you know.
sir.
So it's good that like you're using that as like, you know, a training ground in a sense.
Definitely. Yes, sir.
You know, looking at these professionals and how they do it.
Yeah, because you know if you're watching them, you can't go wrong,
That's
because
right.
they've made it to, they've done everything they need to do to make it to that level, and so you follow them, I think you're set pretty well.
So what about defensively? When you look at some of these guys that play in the NFL, I mean, do you look at a guy and say, "Man, I'm glad I don't have to block this guy"? Or
I'll try not to leave the defensive side more, but when I do watch film, especially against our opponents and that kind of level, I'll try to pick up tendencies and see, like, because I remember one time, it was actually when we played Arbor, it was Greg Rogers, who went to UCLA, but I think he's going to a different school now. But my old line coach, he would tell us that you see his foot shaking, he's going to bull rush. So it's just little stuff like that, like switch the feet, different stances, little tiny things that show you kind of a hint of what they're going to do, especially just try to pick up on what kind of moves they do, because if you're blocking against more of a power bull rush guy, it's different than a speed finesse kind of player.
Oh, that's great. I love to hear that kind of stuff, because, you know,
Yeah,
because to think that guys watch film and like are watching this guy's foot shake. You know?
yeah, and then just seeing
The
it
little
do the
stuff
same
like
thing.
that.
There it is again.
Yes,
sir.
he's shaking his foot.
And I try to do the same thing. I try to watch myself, especially like pull plays or something like that. Make sure my stance doesn't give it away, or because I've actually done some of that stuff in the past. I've tried correcting it, but it's been like, if it's a run block, I'll be in a different stance than a pass block, and so I'm trying to even it up, make sure that they can't do the same thing with me.
Yeah, they can't. You don't give it away.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Poker. You're playing poker.
That's it. That's essentially what it is on the field. I mean,
That's
it's
it. You can't show your
poker
move.
match, yeah.
That's right. That's right. I
Yeah,
love it.
Jeff and I are, you know, I mean, we're real fans of the game, but we're also, you know, looking at trenches.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
because that's really where, you know, things are taking
Oh, I
place.
believe that's the biggest part of the game. I mean, when everyone wants to give the quarterback the accolades, or the running back the accolades, but it's
Can't do
these
it
guys
without the
that
line.
open the hole.
Yes,
It's
sir.
that guy that gave them that extra second in that block, you know,
Yes,
to
sir,
be able to throw
definitely.
the ball. So
Yeah, especially if you're playing on the left and you got a right-handed quarterback. I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
You got to protect the blind side.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
and
sir.
that's where they're going to put the strongest guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know, and yeah, I mean, it's if you look at you know, a lot of these teams, I mean, you know, they have to start on the inside, work their way out.
Yeah.
I mean, people always think, oh, well, you got to draft a quarterback, a wide receiver, a running back. No, yeah, you
That
want to
starts up
protect
front.
these guys. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
it
Yeah,
absolutely.
look at the Giants this year.
Yeah.
Their whole line is.
I think this poor guy is going to have a. Really,
You know, Flowers actually
really tough
maintained an NFL position somehow after all those sacks he gave up. It's amazing. Okay, so who replaced some of these
Mind-boggling.
seniors that left in Gorman?
So our,
You can give shout outs to your line guys.
I know with our line, our seniors last year were Jacob at tackle and then
Yep.
Donovan
Right.
at center. So the positions are still kind of being set in stone, but as of right now, our line, the guys who are coming back, they've all had experience, and so our left tackle, the guy who'll be next to me, he was our right tackle for the majority of the year, and he's another one of those guys that he's been my left tackle while I was left guard forever, so we have that bond already, and his name is Hayden Engel.
Okay.
And then our center is between two guys, Kenny Collins and Andrew Corley. So they're going back and forth. That's one of those battle for the game, battle for the starting spot.
Makes you better.
It's
Sure
a
does.
competition.
Oh yeah.
And then we're just filling in rest of the spots. We definitely have talented guys everywhere. I don't feel like there's any drop off from the amount of talent, and the great thing is too with the younger guys, and hopefully with some more of the seniors stepping up in the leadership roles, that we'll be a hungry team trying to just almost like prove ourselves, showing that we can do whatever the past teams have done.
Right. So the skill guys. Do you mind talking about the skill guys?
Being in the line, I don't get to see a whole lot of those guys, so I honestly, I couldn't even tell you much about them, to be honest.
So when do you guys practice together? I mean, you guys get together. I mean, no, I don't say not on the same field, but like when you're running drills. I mean, do you guys majority run your stuff separate than the
We'll
rest of the
do
line?
about half the time where we are individual. We'll do our individual drills. But while we're in a team, I'm pretty much just focused on, all right, 14 zone, I got to block this guy, go here, do these steps. So honestly can't tell you a whole lot just from not being able to focus on those guys. What about the quarterback? Can you tell us who
the quarterback's going to be?
That's another one of those in competition. It's in competition.
Stay tuned, folks.
It's between Micah Bowens and Donovan Smith, and each of the guys have their strong suits, and that's another good competition one.
Nice. Are they both right-handers?
Yes, sir. Both of them are. I'd love to have either of those guys behind me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yeah. Have you ever blocked for a left-handed quarterback?
I don't think I have, but the funny thing is I actually have blocked for both of those quarterbacks too. I've played with Micah and Donovan, and I was actually joking with Donovan the other day. It was a picture of me and him. I think I was probably like 9, maybe 10. It was a picture of me and him on one of our youth football teams, and then I found another picture of me and Micah at one of our other youth football events, and so blocked for both of those guys too.
That's so great,
I tell you, it is.
I love that.
Man, it's such a small world here in Las Vegas.
It really is.
It really is, and that's classic.
Yep.
That is absolutely classic. Yeah. Is there a particular school that you would, if it were on your wish list, and you obviously not committing to anything here, but if there is that one school, if they called, you would say absolutely.
I don't think there's that one school yet, but there are some schools that I'm still talking to. At this point, I'm trying to learn as much about every school as possible.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I do love all my offers that I have right now. I'm interested in all of them, and this is still early in the process, so I'm learning, just trying to figure out which place will be best for me.
And
I have a question real quick.
That is absolutely key. Yeah.
Hold on.
No, I wasn't moving on.
No, because I thought you were going to do some
change
other
subjects.
Stuff. Yeah. Have you ever been to Ann Arbor? Is my question.
Not that I can remember.
All right. Well, on Netflix, there's a great show on Michigan. Check it out. I just watched the whole thing. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Well, my question before I was so rudely interrupted
I'm sorry.
was, have you been to Westwood, California?
I knew that was coming. That's why I tried to get it in there.
I've been all over California. I've been to a bunch of the California schools.
That's awesome. Yeah, I did see you did some touring with some of the other guys.
Yes, sir.
How was that, by the way?
This past weekend, I got to go with Coach Hill to some of the Utah schools, and it was a great experience. I went with some of the guys from other schools here in town, and got to thank Coach Hill for that, because
So he hooked everybody up.
Yeah, that was a great experience. He's going above and beyond for all the Las Vegas guys, and we had guys from Arbor, Desert Pines, and Gorman, and just a few other schools, and so
that's very cool.
It was cool that we got to spend the weekend together doing all that, and that was a great experience getting to see the different schools too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's awesome.
More importantly, are you having fun with the experience?
Oh yeah, I never thought I would be able to be one of those players where I had a stack of mail waiting for me at home, and I love that, and it's humbling every day it's almost every day talking to a new coach, and that was always my goal. I always saw the guys like going through Gorman, and that was always the goal, and now that I'm actually living that reality, it's amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
And never lose focus or track of that.
Yes, sir.
Make it as fun as possible, because it's only going to happen to you one time in life. You're going to be a senior once, and you're going to go through that process. You're going to make that decision once, and you should enjoy every single minute of it.
Yes, sir.
The minute it becomes a chore or a job, then that's so not cool. So not cool. Yeah. Are you on social media?
Yes, sir. My Twitter, which is most of my football stuff, is Beau Taylor 9.
Beau Taylor 9. Okay.
I like it.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. I want to send any shout outs to anybody.
I want to say thank you to, once again, Coach Hill for this past weekend with doing all he could for us with the Utah schools, some of the 702 high school football guys, which I know they've been on this show before. Yeah. Coach Vince from Liberty, Coach White from Liberty, and I remember that Coach Ray from Liberty, he was one of the first people to call me after some of my first offers and say congratulations. So thank you to all you guys.
That is very cool. That is very cool.
I love it.
Yeah. Do you see any weaknesses in your game that I mean, it can be humbling. Do you see something that hey, this is one thing that I'm really going to concentrate on?
My focus for spring ball, and I told my coaches so I could get some extra work. My main focus is going into when we're doing our drills and all that is to keep my pad level low and work on timing my punch perfect in the pass block. And so I think I have been pretty good in my technique, and now I'm just trying to get the small stuff down that'll take my game to the next level.
Yeah, well,
awesome.
I tell you what, onward and upward. I mean, you're currently obviously doing very, very well.
Thank you.
And needless to say, we always have some questions for our guests.
Yeah.
Okay. And since we're currently in basketball season, do you have a favorite basketball team?
I don't follow basketball too much.
That's quite all right.
I've always wanted to get into it, but
it can be kind of tough.
Yeah.
Not a problem. But you're obviously a football fan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we know this is very early, but we are looking at Super Bowl 2019. I need you to pick an NFC team, and I need you to pick an AFC team, and we need you to tell us why, and then you are going to tell us who's going to win it all.
That's a hard one. Well, according to my offensive coordinator, Coach Rod, every question that should be answered with a yes are the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl in 2019? So I have to pick Cowboys for him.
NFC, okay.
And then I'm not too sure about the other one.
AFC.
Ravens AFC?
Yes, they are.
I'm going to say Ravens, just as a shout-out to Ronnie Stanley, because he's my favorite player from Gorman right now in the league.
All right. And who is going to win it all?
That's a good question. Sorry, Ronnie, but I'm going to have to say the Cowboys.
Okay. For some reason, I just kind of thought it might be going in that direction.
Hey, with Baltimore, I'm not really a Baltimore fan, but I'd love to see Mr. Jackson from Louisville do well there.
Definitely.
And I really think that the fact that an offensive coordinator from the NFL kind of gave him a shot that he'll never do anything in the NFL. I love those stories.
Yeah.
Guys that actually take that and as fuel.
Absolutely.
And the only thing I'm ever gonna say to you is anyone ever speaks negative to you, use that as fuel.
Definitely.
Because I mean that's why they ultimately do it, and they don't even realize it. They're trying to talk down to you, but they're really actually pumping you up.
It always helps.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Love it.
Needless to say, man, thank you so much for coming on. We know that your schedule is pretty busy over at Gorman.
I'm actually going home to write my essay right now.
Okay, yeah, and it just never stops, man. And needless to say, we wish you the very best for your 2018, class of 2019.
Yes, sir.
And consider yourself a friend of the show, and we are certainly going to be a fan of yours.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
Oh, you're very welcome, young man. Beau Taylor, junior offensive lineman from Bishop Gorman High School, getting ready. He's going to be in the class of 2019. And how can people check out some of your film online?
Through my Twitter, Beau Taylor 9. It's I have my huddle linked on there, and then I also have one of our video guys. He actually made me a YouTube video, which
he does a great job.
He did a great job.
That was more the theatrical one those are just fun to watch. But,
that dude's a beast putting together film. Yeah. I'm giving you a shout out, by the way.
Yeah, and so I have my huddle and the YouTube one on there.
Awesome.
All right.
Sounds good.
Well done. All right, folks. So listen, we're going to take a break here, and when we come back, we're going to switch gears. This is Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from WWDBTV.com. We'll be right back.
The golf store you've been waiting for is now open. Bob Allen Golf is ready to help you take your game to the next level. Bob Allen Golf is located at 6415 South Fort Apache, Las Vegas 89148. Choose your favorite clubs from our selection of Bridgestone, Callaway, Cleveland, XXIO, Srixon, Ping, Wilson, and more. We'll custom fit them in our state-of-the-art full-swing golf simulator. Come hang out with us and practice on our putting green to find out which club is perfect for you. Have your clubs repaired, reshafted, and regripped in our on-site tour shop. And talk about accessories. Guys and gals will feel comfortable and look sharp in the many sizes, colors, and options of apparel from Greg Norman, Black Clover, Under Armour, and more. The team at Bob Allen Golf takes your game as seriously as you do. Join our online family at boballengolf.com and stop in the store to meet us. Remember, at Bob Allen Golf, your game is in the bag.
Need help with your taxes? Numbers not adding up? Wondering how recent tax changes might affect you? Don't pay more in taxes than you have to. Give us a call. No matter how complex your taxes may be, the best tax professionals are at your disposal. For fast refunds and professional service, give us a call today.
Booyah, we are back. Round two. Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from WWDBTV.com. My name is Bill Miller, co-host along with
Jeff Belknap.
And we are very happy to have with us on the line from Southern California, longtime friend, associate, colleague, fellow owner.
Yep.
Mr. Tony Reid of the LaBelle Community Football League. I'm sorry, LaBelle Developmental.
That's right.
Football League, the LDFL. Tony, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh man, thank you very much. We appreciate you coming on and coming on to the show. It's been a while. I think it may have been a few years since we actually have had you on our show.
Yes, probably longer than that.
Yeah, and we kind of thought about it just before the show. I was trying to put a timeline on it, but it might very well be 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. Like you said, we've been knowing each other personally for some years and been across the sidelines from each other and, been business partners. So it's good to, know that, you guys are still around, up and kicking and doing some great things with the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it, man. I mean, we have a lot of fun with it, and, we try to, promote a lot of the local, youth as well as adult sports. And, both Jeff and I, try to support the local, minor league teams here in town, whatever we can do to lend assistance.
That's right. $5 at a time.
Yeah. We were, Jeff sent me a link, and I'm very happy to see, you post, about the LDFL and your plans for the spring of 2019. And, we'd really appreciate it if you could tell us, first of all, why don't you give us a little background about you and, your team, the Inglewood Blackhawks.
Yeah, the Blackhawks, we've been around since 2001. We actually played 18 seasons, 17 fall, and 1 spring. And, this upcoming year, we just decided to take the fall off. We've been up and going, year-round for 17 years. So it was time to just take a back seat and kind of, just put things back in order because when I started the Blackhawks, my daughter was just born. She's graduating. She'll get ready to go to college. So time has really passed by. So it was time to just take some time off and focus on family and at the same time sit down with my colleagues and talk about the future of the LDFL.
Yeah. Well, first of all, congratulations on your daughter, man. Yeah. I mean, that's a huge milestone, but it also kind of tells us how time is really flying.
Yeah, time waits for nobody, and this is definitely a great testament about it because 17 years has flown by very, very quick.
Yeah. Yep. Well, this is a major, sea change for you to, reconsider the fall football, which you guys have thrived on for years, and and then suddenly look at spring football, and so you're looking at the spring of 2019, and so tell me about the LDFL.
Well, the LDFL, it comes back from the original LCFL that was back here back in the day that, you know, had 32 teams at one time and 4 different divisions. And it was a great league, you know, a league that gave players an opportunity, a great platform to play, and gave owners an opportunity to decrease on some of their costs. You know, the LCFL, you know, gave teams helmets, uniforms, referee fees, things of that matter. And, you know, it hibernated for a couple of years. Diamond St. Pierre Paul, the former manager of Patty LaBelle, and, you know, we've been talking about it for years, and we sat down and had some great dinners and some great talks about it. And over the last year, he's flown down to Los Angeles, and we just looked at the landscape of this level of football out here. And, you know, we're not here to talk about any leagues or downplay them, but it just hasn't been upheld to credible football out here. And it was time to bring back the legitimacy to this level and give guys the real opportunity, which is to develop. Right. That's what this level is about, to develop and get these guys the needed tools to graduate to the next level of football, which is, you know, possibly to get paid to play. So without good film and good organizations, that's not possible. So we feel like we're on the road back to giving young men, and we have to say young ladies too, because we've had young ladies who've graduated to the next level of cheering. You know, the Blackhawks, we've had about 5 cheerleaders that went on to be Dallas Maverick girls, Laker girls, Cheetahs, soccer. So it's not just for the young men, but it's for the young ladies as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you know, I mean, honestly, that's something that we'd never heard about. And congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And the league is not focused around one particular team. We're entertaining franchises from all over, current and new franchises. And the phones have been ringing off the hook since we went live with the video and the website. So we're gonna be, you know, it's gonna be a good thing. And you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, so we're trying to build, and we don't want to get too big. You know, like you said, we had 32 teams at one time, but I think we may start off small and graduate as we go.
That's beautiful.
Well, I noticed that you mentioned that there are going to be 3 regional offices: Philadelphia, LA, of course, and Las Vegas.
Correct. Right. Yeah, we have you know, 3 regional commissioners. One of the commissioner for California would be Dave Stevens. Dave is a veteran to this level of football. He's played for years. He's coached. He's been in front offices. He's done it all. And at this level, it's kind of hard to find people that are dedicated to what you're doing and trying to accomplish. And Dave was an easy choice for us to select to be our regional commissioner out here. And he's gonna, you know, be very relevant, you know, at the games. Because a lot of times, you know, teams, you know, once the season starts, they just kind of just run amok. So we need to have someone out there policing and make sure everything is in place, making sure players are in the right uniform, making sure there are no different color helmets on the field, making sure that teams are playing with NFL footballs instead of rubber footballs. And those are going to be things that are going to be sanctioned. And you know, Dave, you know, he'll be popping up at games here and there. You never know when he's coming, but if he comes in and there's something that needs to be fixed, he's going to definitely address it.
I love it.
I do too, and I think that, you know, we've you know, talked over the years, and we always knew that it wasn't a stretch, you know, to assemble, you know, a blueprint, you know, and a business plan. It was just getting everybody to come together
buy in,
and maybe set aside a few egos for the benefit of the whole.
Like 32 of them.
Which it's a tall task.
You're right about that, because it's you know, sometimes, you know, winning is not everything. You know,
That's
sometimes
right.
it's just about the structure of the full organization, because if you got 32 teams and it's such a big gap between 1 and 32, the parity of the league is not that good. You know, I know there was times in the past where at Blackhawk games, our attendance declined because people didn't want to come see 80-0 blowout.
Right.
They wanted to see us, you know, have a competitive game. And I remember about 2 or 3 years ago, right after we lost to the SoCal Coyotes in the championship game,
Wait, hold on. We can't
the following year, I ran across one of the fans who was walking around the track while we were practicing. And I said, hey, you know we lost this year. We lost in the championship game. He told me, he said, congratulations. He was happy to see that we had finally had someone competitive as us to challenge us to win a championship, because, you know, not to say that winning 5 in a row was easy, because we had a stretch of games where it was, you know, 2 and 3 point games and last second field goals. But you know, it's good to know that people want to see competitive football.
I agree.
Agreed.
Hey, just in the future, that's SCC. That we can't say the other name anymore. Just going SCC. I'm just kidding. You know, there will be a day where we'll bury the hatchet with our friend.
Yeah.
But, not today.
Yeah, just not today, right? Yeah.
Right. Oh boy.
Well, you know, Tony, I'll be honest with you, man. The Blackhawks always been kind of the gold standard.
Yeah, the dominant.
And it was always what we could possibly do against you guys. And, you know, and literally, you know, you found yourself at times just rooting for somebody to beat you only because, you know, you guys were considered literally unbeatable.
Yeah.
I mean, how long was your undefeated streak?
We had a 47-game winning streak.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's going to be matched at this level ever again, because those games were, if you remember those back and during that time, we had some very great teams in the league.
Yes.
And it was really hard to get 47 in a row. And the game that we lost to the North County Cobras, I mean, that came down to a last-second field goal. We lost 10-9.
Yeah.
Such a great game. And, I miss the games like that. The owners like Tony Vincent and Terrence Webster and Mike Bullard. I mean, those are the guys that, you know, you wouldn't mind sitting in the boardroom with. But at the same time, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel with the LDFL. We're just bringing, again, credible, professional developmental football back to our communities.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we got to give these guys the tools to graduate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, you absolutely can achieve this, and all you really need is, you know, a verbal commitment is one thing, you know, and even a written commitment, but ultimately it's you know, it's where the rubber meets the road. You got to get out there and do it. But I really appreciate the lead time, because, you know, this is something that you clearly want to take your time. You want to make sure that you've got the processes in place. And, you know, I wish you absolutely the very, very best of luck. I mean, Jeff and I have always, you know, been a fan of football at this level. I think we had some frustrations at a certain point.
Couple.
Okay, more than a certain point. But it was never from a lack of trying.
Oh, no.
And we never strayed away from our principles, you know, which, you know, sometimes resulted in our, you know, rosters decreasing and taking L's. But we were never going to get away from our principles. And, you know, you and the Blackhawk team, the staff, the players that we've seen over the years, you guys stuck to your guns, you know, and, you know, you said, we're going to do it this way, and you're either with us or against us.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I truly admired about you guys. What you did is the standard should be that you guys, like you said, you may have lost some players along the way. Your roster may have decreased, but at the same time, you stuck to what you guys put out there. You wasn't going to deviate from that, and that's kind of the direction we want to go with this. We've been talking in our meetings about changing some things up, you know, with the league. You know, maybe one of the things that we may try this year is instead of having players pay their team fees to the team, have them pay it to the league. They have to be registered with the league, and the league will kick back out money to the individual owners. So that's something that's, you know, kind of in our talks right now. We're entertaining a lot of new things, and we're not trying to, like I said, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're just trying to make it right, because it's so fractured right now. We just want, if our name is on it, it has to be credible.
Well, I can tell you this: that whoever thought of that idea is an absolute genius.
Oh boy, he is. I'll say part genius.
Oh my goodness! Yes, brilliant individual here.
That's
yes,
right. That's right. He's got an ego problem, a lot of other problems, but yeah, it's awesome. No, I really like what you're doing, Tony, and I'm really interested in just following the path and just seeing like where this develops, because this is needed. It is needed for that to fill that gap. There's a huge gap between the college ball and the NFL. And even with a couple of these other leagues coming in to try to fill those gaps, there's still gaps. There's lots of arena teams that are looking for players constantly. And I noticed some of these guys are being picked up to play arena places. So it's a great platform. It really is a great platform.
Yes, it is. And just wanted to follow up on one of the things you said. I just want you guys to know that this isn't about Tony Reid or the Blackhawks. There's a full executive board of people who's on board with creating this. This has been a thing that Thomas St. Pierre Paul has envisioned from the days of the LCFL when it was on the East Coast only. So watch him see that the LDFL is back. He's so excited about it, and once the East Coast gets going, it's gonna be good, because if you look back at the days of the LCFL, you got to remember we had an East Coast and a West Coast division that played a national championship in January.
Yes.
Right. So hopefully we'll get back to that. One of the great things that we do have lined up is that Damascene has brought Derek Brooks on board, former NFL player, and we're going to be aligning our season with the new spring league, the Alliance of American Football, and our schedule will be aligned with them. So if our players are selected to graduate and possibly get them to go to another level, we have the new league, the spring league, where our players can go directly. So that's one of the perks that the LDFL is going to have.
Beautiful.
That is great. And I'm glad that you're actually working with them, as opposed to against them.
Correct, exactly.
Well, I mean, needless to say, whatever Jeff and I can do, here with the show, you're certainly friends of ours, but whatever we can do to help and assist you in promoting this, because ultimately at the end of the day, we want to see these young men here who have talent and, who are just finding it difficult to align themselves with a team that is going to actually has their best interest in heart. And that is going to give them the best tools to work with so that they have an opportunity. I mean, as well as I do, nobody wants to see somebody running back, punts against, 325-pound guys charging downfield trying to tackle him and catch him.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they need to see good film, not, somebody, running past people who are clearly up there in age and, and just not really equipped to play really good football at this level. They got heart. Don't get me wrong, but it's about ability.
So you don't want to see me playing D-end?
Or me, for that matter. I mean, it's just, and at the same time, this is going to be a wonderful opportunity, and I think it'll finally put that professionalism in place.
I love it.
For minor league football.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's what we're geared towards, and at the same time, we're focused. I hate to just be repetitive about it, but we want to get these guys quality game film.
Yes.
If they have quality game film, who knows the limits of where they can go. If you have players that have college eligibility still, it could be great for college. If a guy just needed some film to get back to the arena league, it's great. And I'm not going to say the NFL is out the picture, because it has happened. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
If you don't try it, you'll never know. And on the flip side of it too, the league is developed. We don't want to break the bank on our owners as well. We want our owners to be real business people.
That's right.
So we want to allow them and give them the tools to become great business people. We're going to profit share. We're going to share resources. It's going to be a great thing. Once we have our first official meeting with the owners, I think everybody's going to walk out that room very, very happy.
I agree.
Yeah, and for how can people reach you? I mean, clearly with the link out, the website out, how can people reach you to contact you about if they're an owner or if they're a player?
Yeah, if you want to reach us, you can go to our website. Our website is WWDBTV.com, and we have a link as well. Our email address is ldflsports@gmail.com.
All right, fantastic. Tony, thank you very much. Needless to say, please keep us, abreast in terms of what's going on. And again, anything that we can do on this end, just let us know.
Sounds good. I appreciate you guys very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was Tony Reid, longtime friend of ours, owner of the Inglewood Blackhawks, and one of the principals behind the LDFL.
I can't wait to see what's going to happen here.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea that they are targeting 2019, not an immediate ramp up, something that they need to try to accomplish within a couple of months. And I think it's an excellent opportunity. Well, folks, we've had a great show. We'd like to thank Beau Taylor, junior offensive lineman for Bishop Gorman High School, for joining us in the first half hour, and, of course, Tony Reid, who we just got off the phone with. Join us next Wednesday, May 16th, 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, for another installment of Southern Nevada Sports News, coming to you from WWDBTV.com. Have a great week.
God bless.